Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Today, I'm going to discuss about the Islamic banking versus conventional banking, where I only focus on by Bithaman Ajil, which known as one of the Islamic banking product.
Okay, I will explain about the definition of conventional banking. Okay, conventional banking serves the economic development without keeping the social contribution and base for individual growth rather than the community development. Next is definition of Islamic banking. So, what is Islamic banking actually? Okay, Islamic banking or Islamic finance is known as an activity that complies with Sharia and its practical application through the development of Islamic economics. Some of the modes includes mudharabah, known as profit sharing and loss bearing, wadi'ah, known as safekeeping, musyarakah, known as joint venture, murabahah, known as cost plus sale, and ijara, known as leasing. Okay, now let's move further. I'm going to explain about the features of conventional banking. The first one is interest-based transactions, which known as a riba. The second one is profit rate, can be a fixed rate or based on floating rate. The third one is conventional bank will borrows at a lower interest and loans them to at a high interest rate. The fourth one is the credit worthiness, and the last one is a profit maximization without any restrictions from any financial institutions. Previously, we discussed about the features of conventional banking, and now I'm going to explain about the features of Islamic banking. The first one is avoid interest-based transaction. The second one is deposit-taking banking institutions. The third one is based on Sharia principles. The fourth one is a profit and loss sharing. And the last one is all financial transactions should be asset backed.
Okay, now I will make a comparison between conventional and Islamic. Okay, the first one is conventional banking prices money, and the Islamic banking prices goods and services. The relationship between bank and customer is debtors and creditors, while for the Islamic, the relationship between Islamic bank and customer is one participation in risk and rewards. The last one is depositors get a fixed rate regardless of the bank's profitability, thus insulting them from the bank's true performance. While from the Islamic, the profit is shared with the depositors. Higher the bank's profit, higher the depositors' income.
Next, the value of proposition of Islamic banking. The first one is rububiyah, known as divine arrangement for nourishment. The second one is tawhid, God's unity and sovereignty. The third one is tazkiyah, purification plus growth. The fourth one is kafalah, known as social solidarity. The fifth one is adalah, known as justice. And then the last one is known as akhirah, belief in accountability on the day of judgment. Okay, let's move to the contracts in Islamic finance. There are 6 contracts in Islamic finance. The first one is exchange-based contract, which include murabahah cost plus sale, al-istisna manufacturing sale, al-salam forward sale, al-dain sale of debt, al-sarf sale of currency, al-inah sale and buyback, al-tawarruk monetization, by Bithaman Ajil deferred payment sale, and al-ijarah leasing. Next, the second contract is partnership contract, which include musyarakah, partnership, mudharabah, profit sharing. The third contract is charitable contract, which include hibah as a gift, qard loan, qardul hasan, benevolent loan, and wadi'ah, safekeeping. The fourth contract is an agency contract, which include wakalah, agency. The fifth contract is security contract, which include kafalah, guarantee, rahnu, pledge. And then the last contract is supporting contract, which include hiwala, remittance, mukasah, set off, ibrah, rebate, and wa'ad, promise. Okay, let's move to the buy Bithaman Ajil contract. Okay, let's continue. As we know, buy Bithaman Ajil (BBA), okay, is known as a housing loan in conventional, but in Islamic finance, it is called as housing financing. Okay, okay. Buy Bithaman Ajil is a house financing the sale of assets or goods on deferred payments at a fixed price that includes profit margin to the seller. Under buy Bithaman Ajil house financing, the bank will purchase the asset first at cost and sell it to the customer plus profit at the duration and price agreed by both parties, payable by fixed installment. Okay, the comparison between the conventional and the Islamic one will be discussed in details. Okay, there are 5 features of buy Bithaman Ajil. The first one is free from payment and receipt or predetermined rate of interest. The second one is payment of zakat, alms or taxes by the bank. The third one is transactions free from elements of gharar. The fourth one is business activities and investments on the basis of permissible activities. And the last one is transactions that operate through Sharia compliant modes of financing. Next is a transaction of buy Bithaman Ajil. I will explain it details. Okay? There are 3 parties involved. The first one is customers, Islamic banking institutions, and the developer. Okay? Right. So, the customers first step is the customer will identify the house first. Okay? And then, when the customer identify the house that he or she want to buy, okay, and then the customer will approach to the Islamic banking institutions to make a buy Bithaman Ajil contracts. And then the Islamic banking institutions will buy the house at cost. For example, okay, the house is 100,000. Okay, then the bank will buy the house from the developer worth at RM 100,000. Okay, and then the Islamic banking institutions will sell back the house to the customer plus profit. Okay, for example, the house which the bank buy from the developer is 100,000, and then the bank sell it to the customer 100,000 plus 100,000, which is 100,000 is a profit. Okay, this will be a declaration from the bank as an agreement to the customer where the 100,000 will be the profit to the bank. Now, let's continue to the comparison between the conventional housing loan and buy Bithaman Ajil. The first one is based on loan principle, borrowing and lending. For the buy Bithaman Ajil, based on buy and sell principle. For the conventional, the price pegged against base lending rate, BLR. For the buy Bithaman Ajil, fixed profit rate apply. For the conventional, repayment varies as base lending rate BLR fluctuates, while for buy Bithaman Ajil, repayment is fixed. The last one, the total amount payable known only at the end of the period for the conventional housing loan, while for the buy Bithaman Ajil, the total amount payable known up front. The last one is the conclusion part. Okay, in conclusion, with increasing maturity of Islamic finance, the differences between Islamic and conventional products have narrowed considerably. This might suggest for more Islamic banks in those countries, as it would force the banks to be more innovative and competitive. It is proof that there is a need for specialized Islamic financial institutions such as Murabahah banks, and Musyarakah banks, which would compete with one another to provide the best possible services. That's all for me. Thank you for watching.